It is August 4th, 2019, and I have not had my coffee yet. It's hitting noon, and I literally woke up around like 9, 10 o'clock. I haven't really done much. I'm such a procrastinator, but we're gonna get there. Welcome to Group Therapy, a podcast I created to vent and discuss meaningful topics, a place for mutuals to gather and share like-minded ideologies. I'm realizing that a lot of the people I follow on social media, a lot of the people that I connect with through the internet are struggling with these mental illnesses that aren't being discussed enough, aren't being taken serious enough. And so I feel like having this form of outlet to where I can vent about my issues and how I cope with them, how I deal with them personally, would be beneficial to those dealing with the same type of anxiety attacks, same type of depression states, and hopefully help them find different ways they can deal with them. That's the key goal. I want to be able to help others deal with the same things that I'm going through. So if you don't take away anything from this podcast, at least take away, a lesson on how to positively deal with your mental illnesses. Let's go back a year ago. Let's talk about where I was and how I got to this point in time. So, around this time, about a year ago, I was making my way back from Puerto Rico. I had like a really bad summer, really bad year. Just got out of a relationship, was really in a negative headspace. Had spent some time in San Francisco with my sister, doing odd-end jobs and stuff. And that's a whole nother topic, relationship thing and dealing with that. But it had just got so toxic. The energy that I was dealing with was so negative that I just needed to get out of the same routine that I was in, the consistent day-to-day activities that I was doing. And so one day it clicked on me. Bought a plane ticket to Puerto Rico. I've been there several times, so it's kind of like a second home for me whenever I go. But one day I couldn't deal with life anymore. I was sleeping out of a car at one point in time, and it was too much. It was too much. So bought a plane ticket to Puerto Rico. Liquidated the rest of my funds from my savings account that I had with Starbucks, and had made the decision to start my life over on the island. Obviously, that didn't work out like I wanted to. I still want to move back to Puerto Rico and, live a life of just ocean breeze and bliss. But we'll get there. Eventually, I will get there. Eventually, life will work it out to where I find that happiness and I get back to that spot. During this time, like I said, I was going through a lot of negative energy surrounding me. I get to Puerto Rico, and for the first several days, I'm waiting for, my funds to become available and everything. So I'm pretty much homeless. I'm pretty much, sleeping at the airport, which was a blessing in disguise. The people at the airport were really friendly, really nice. They had just been hit by, what was it, Hurricane Maria. So, fortunately, I arrived in a time where they could turn people away, they could be heartless. So, I had that opportunity to kind of take advantage. I don't really want to say take advantage, but basically I was taking advantage of their kindness. They gave me a place to stay, was understanding of my situation, which is why I will always have a deep-rooted love for the people of Puerto Rico, and I will always support them becoming an independent country, especially the way the U.S. has been treating them within the recent years. So anyways, I'm at the airport. I got like 2 bags, 1 carry-on, 1 luggage that I've just been living out of. I would travel to the beach from time to time, kind of just sleep there. The good thing about island life is you can literally be a bum and there's no judgment. And I think that's what I wanted. Being in the situation that I was in, I just needed to go to a place where it didn't feel weird to not have my life together. And whenever I'm stressed, the first thing I think about is going to, a big body of water and just kind of throwing myself in there and letting all my issues just flow away with the waves. So Puerto Rico's always my destination of choice whenever I need to just get away and go. About 5-6 days in, I'm still waiting for the funds to be released. Took some time. I blame big banks, but whatever. All the stress just getting to me. I'm not talking to anyone. I pretty much isolated myself, which isn't healthy, but it's how I cope with a lot of things. And so one day, depression just gets too heavy. I start thinking negatively. I think about all the medication that I have in my bag, and I make that ultimate decision to end it all. I don't want to upplay the dramatics. I don't want to make it seem like it was one big, scene and ambulance came and everything. That shit didn't happen for me. I took way more than the prescribed amount of medication, half the bottle pretty much, and I went back to sleep. I was like, I'm gonna go out peaceful, I'm gonna close my eyes and never wake back up. And yeah, I think if you're someone like me and you tend to tackle all your issues on your own, you tend to deal with all of your problems by yourself, eventually carrying that weight becomes too much of a burden. And eventually you start looking for ways to avoid that burden. I don't suggest my route. I mean, because it could have ended differently, but fortunately for me, the universe has a different plan in store for me, I guess. But yeah, if you're someone like me and you're tackling burdens, if you're dealing with different burdens, you're dealing with life in the best way that you know how to, which may be, just to keep pushing, just tackling more problems onto your shoulder, not venting to people, not, talking to friends about the issues. You're going down a really, really dark path, and this is kind of why I started the podcast. I really want people to understand that you don't have to go alone. You don't have to feel alone. There's always someone out there. Um, there's always someone willing to listen. I will plug in the suicidal hotline number for those who need it, or I will link it in the description for those who need it. But yeah, if there's one thing I can stress from this story is you do not have to feel alone. Even if you technically are, if you don't have anyone in your corner, there's always someone online. There's always someone you can talk to vent to. That's the whole reason why I got back on Twitter. Mainly because I'm lonely and I need friends. But at the deep-rooted sense, I'm lonely and I need friends. So why not get online with other people who are dealing with shit and talk to them about it? In your time of need, in your time of stress, if you are dealing with too much negative energy and just don't know where to go, I urge every single person listening to text CONNECT, that's CONNECT, to 741-741. Please vent, talk their ear off. Do what you need to do to get the help that you need and deserve. Even if it's just, talking to a family member, a friend, it's talking to a dog. Vent. Getting rid of all of that negative energy is the best way to feel better about yourself. So, once again, that's CONNECT, CONNECT, to 741-741. So, the next day I wake up, sun shining in my face, which at that point in time, I was so fucking pissed. I woke up and I was like, why am I awake? Like that was the first initial thought. It was just like, wait, what in the fuck is going on? Why am I up? What happened? Why is the sun shining on me? I was livid. It didn't go as I had planned. And that's a lesson to take away as well. Life is always going to happen in a way that doesn't follow your expectations. So the sooner you learn to adapt to life instead of trying to force your will onto life, the sooner you'll be able to get closer to that bliss. I'll talk more about that in a later episode because it's amazing what I've come across as far as knowledge, books to read and stuff, and so I woke up, sun shining on my face, must be a sign, right? Initially I was upset. Initially I was just like, why is everything I'm doing not planning out like I want it to? But I wasn't about to do it again. I mean, anyone gambles, once you hit that big score, you don't gamble all of it away. So I got up. I honestly don't remember the first thing I did that day. I might have been waiting for a bus to come pick me up. I was probably heading to the beach again. By this time, I'm like trying to figure out what I need to be doing as far as my life goes.